We're going live, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all didn't expect this, did you? And open wrestling talk. Well, why would we do it? Because I can. Deal with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I am C Double, the great host as always. Open Wrestling Talk is the show. This is where you want to be. We did not have one half of the greatest tag team ever assembled on with us. So we had to get a panel, and I believe this is the best panel I've ever came up with. All due respect to my boys, Brick Wall. I have much love for you. I have much love for you, Carl. When you get a chance, get on in. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my crew. We're going to go with number one, the loose cannon himself, Mr. Charles Twitter Smitty. What up, my friend?
Because I want to be a fucking lemon.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Brick Wall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this man does not need an introduction. But because by law and because he is Mr. Babyface himself, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Mr. Destroying Kayfabe Zone. He is the one, the only. He is from Hazelburg, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. He is the one, the only WTF champions of all time. He is CM.
Hoorah! And it's great to be here today. I know I couldn't be on the show last night. Call of Booty kicked in, and now we can get this underway.
Exactly. Show starts when CM Stylez shows up. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to be a showstopper of Wrestling Impact. Not those two jabronis. It is Miss Haley Imes. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to the one true diva and future sport analyst of Open Wrestling Talk, Miss Admin herself. Haley, speak to the people.
Hey guys, I'm very excited to be here.
Great to have you here.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. We are honored to have you. So, we appreciate you taking the time out and speaking with us. CM wasn't able to do the show, and I wanted to get his take, and I definitely want to get your take because I know how much you respect Seth Rollins and how you respect the Shield. So this is definitely a controversial subject, but I definitely wanted your opinion. I wanted you to be heard. I didn't want you to get cut off by anybody. So you're going to get your takes in, so just know that. Okay, Haley?
Yes, thank you.
You can speak too. No problem. All right, guys. We had an epic pay-per-view main event, Shield Evolution, and you're going to see the residual effects of it. So we start off with Blue Tista, Randy Orton looking sore, and Triple H with a fresh pepperoni face with the black eye shiner. I mean, what makeup can do to you. And we know Astasi likes the makeup, but ladies and gentlemen, I got to say,
Yes,
we had a moment where Triple H is ready to wage war against the Shield. He wants to make it known. He does not lose. He will win. He always finds a way to win. Well, guys, what did you think of the promo? Because then Batista, decided to go, you know what, I want to take my blue tights, my skinny jeans home with me with my lime green tie and give the Queen of Elizabeth wave and leave you guys. What did you think of it? I want to go to Charles here first.
Talking about the quitting?
Yeah, about
Batista saying
that
goodbye?
in the promo, yeah.
I can't say that I was at all surprised. The promo was good. I'm not at all sweat. I think we all seen it coming. And frankly, I think that ever since he debuted, I mean, it was pretty much just he ran himself in the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Nobody really bought in. Nobody really. He was never really over when he came back, in my opinion. He was over, but he wasn't. You know what I mean? So, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Good riddance.
Hey, sometimes you just need to call like that. See it?
You know?
Yeah. All right, let me pass it over to CM Styles here. Let's get his take since we hadn't heard from him. Babyface, what do you gotta say about this, man? You know, I know how much you were heartbroken to see Batista in his blue outfit.
I was looking for my ball so I could
Oh
pick
shit!
to go home too. Um, but yeah, I expected this to happen. And like Charles said, when he came back, he had a slight reaction on his return. But all it took for him to lose all that was to win the Royal Rumble and the headline WrestleMania. It just, maybe it is time for him to go. Although we do know that he still has a year and a half left in his contract. Right now, he's out promoting the Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever the hell it's called. And of course, we'll probably see him back either at SummerSlam or a little bit afterwards, just so he can promote this. Maybe if he comes back, he'll be a skinny jeans sellout again. Yes, while he's waving in the whole Princess Diana little fashion. It just
Nice.
yeah. Maybe he'll come back and he'll kiss the mat again, so that way we can have another C double plug for Febreze. Who knows? Yes, I remember that one. That was a cheap plug too. And hey, Febreze, if you're out there, we could use some sponsors. We could use lots of sponsors because
Ah!
just kidding. We don't need sponsors.
You know, and maybe we can have a whole bunch of Febreze bottles everywhere, and we'll plug that. I don't mind.
Careful.
All right.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this promo was pretty solid. Triple H saying that the only way that Batista's going to get what he wants is by taking out the Shield, and Batista
Yeah,
got
we'll
tired of
definitely
it.
discuss how that.
He called it dead promises. So what can you really say? They did it. They did the CM Punk version of Batista. So both boys picked up their balls and went home.
I hear you. And we will get Charles back, I promise, guys. But let's get Miss Star of the Night. Go ahead, Miss Haley. Let's get your take on this angle. And if you'd like to go ahead and mention about that main event at Payback, you can at this part, because this is what spawned what happened in this promo.
Well, that main event was awesome. It was amazing. It's funny because everyone was going to say that Roman Reigns was going to be the star of that match, but Seth was definitely the star, I think, in my opinion. I mean, he saved them both. He just came out of nowhere and just trampled over everyone, but it was a great main event. But as for Batista leaving, I think it was the right thing to do. I mean, no one really wanted him there. You've seen how out of breath he got, and at Payback, like he acted like he was dying, and he couldn't get back in the ring and everything. He's so out of shape. So I think he needs to get into shape before he comes back, because it's ridiculous how out of shape he is and how he acts like he's a 500-pound man, and he can't like get in the ring. I don't know. It's crazy how out of shape he is. And but like I said, he needed to leave. No one really wanted him in there. I think this was good for Evolution to get rid of him, because like you said, now they have a new guy, but we won't get into that right now. But yeah, I think this is going to be good, for Evolution, and I'm glad to see him go, because like I said, he's just out of shape. He needs to take a break and do whatever he needs to do.
Awesome. And by the way, guys, we got Carl. He's on his way to join us. He's part of the new crew. He's very. We calling him the loose cannon of our. We got the loose cannon that is Charles, and we got Carl, who will tell it like it is. I mean, I say he will spit what he needs to be spitting, and because of the fact that a lot of the stuff he says rubs people the wrong way, but the thing is, some of the stuff that needs to be said. And I will take everyone's opinion. When you're on my show, I want to say it like this. Even if I may not agree with your opinion, I will respect your opinion, and I will respect the person that's coming from it. So, please understand that's how I feel about that. And I want to say I'm very happy to have all y'all here. Haley, I love that take. You brought it out like a champ. So, And Charles is going to be back. He's got some technical difficulties. He'll be right back, he told me. So we'll have you back, Charles, as soon as you can. Guys, let's go ahead and talk about the next segment. Or not the next segment, because we're kind of just wanting to we want to compress it and give time to the proper areas. So with that said, we had Stephanie McMahon announce Money in the Bank will happen. And if Daniel Bryan can magically heal, it will be him and Kane in a stretcher match. Daniel Bryan, Kane. If Daniel Bryan still is hurting and cannot have it, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a Money in the Bank for the actual belts. So with that said, guys, what do you think about the announcement? Because then John Cena comes in, I guess, becoming the lawyer of Daniel Bryan in his contract. CM, what did you think about the promo?
I thought that was a very solid promo. The 30-day rule is in effect here. Now I know we have guys like CM Punk who had that knee surgery and was out for 3-4 months. He didn't defend his title at all, but he was showing up on Raw and cutting promos here and there. I don't see why they can't do the same with Daniel Bryan. I know, but at the same time, when you think about it, you do want to fight and champion. As much as I like the belt around his waist, he's got plenty of time left in his contract to come back and go for that gold. Just like people say, well, it's in my contract to have this. It has nothing to do with the contract. It's just the fact that you're over with the crowd. You're over with officials. You got everyone backing you. You give this thing up. It's not going to tarnish anything. It's going to hurt because you just won at Mania. You're dealing with all these nagging injuries. Luckily, it wasn't a broken neck, and it was just some nerves that were damaged. And he needs that time to recover. And on top of that, when you think about it, lately the stocks have been dropping because they don't have a champion, to be the face of the WWE. They don't have anyone to fight for. To make this a Money in the Bank match for that title right there, throw 8 people up there to fight for it, I think that would be great. But the thing is, you do that, and what if it's not the person you want it to be? There's going to be it's going to be really tough to really weed this all out. But hopefully they actually come to a decision on how they're going to run this WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm anxious to see Bryan get back into action. I miss his work. The dude is I won't call him a powerhouse, but he's a workhorse. Who cares if he's a B+? It doesn't matter. He's an A+ to me because the guy can work. His promos aren't exactly on par, but when he gets that whole pissed off attitude going, he can cut a mean promo. Watch his ROH and CZW promos.
Yeah, real quick before I give it a call, Haley, I want you to give me a minute because I want you to get just because I want to get Carl's take on what we just talked about with the Batista Evolution angle. And CM, I like the points what you just said, because here's the thing: Daniel Bryan has been wrestling for a long time, and he did work in CZW, he did work in Ring of Honor. And I'm glad you mentioned that. But here's what we're going to have the conflict. But, I do love it. So let's go ahead and bring it. Carl, I would like your take on the Evolution bit where Batista did the Queen of England wave and then go into the WWE title issue. And I love that the belt's hanging from your bed there.
I got both. I got the world title and I got anyway,
look at you.
The world champ right here. Anyway, just having Batista come in for a few months, right?
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah.
Pointless to even have him win the Rumble to begin with, and then fast forward to now, have him quit to go promote a movie. It's just stupid. And now, what are you going to do when he comes back? He already burned the bridge with Triple H. What are they going to do? Have a feud with him against Triple H for the 20th time? No one wants to see that. Or him against Orton. No one wants to see that either. Batista is just not what he used to be. No one gives a fuck about Batista. If he wouldn't have left in 2010 and he would have stayed, maybe it would have been different. Maybe Batista would have been relevant again, but he's not. He's just, was there to fill in a spot just to get fucking shitted on by the fans all day.
Yeah, the whole. Well, with that being said, go ahead and give us the take on the title picture with Daniel Bryan.
It's
I know
fucking.
what you said, but go ahead.
It's stupid how they have him hold the titles longer than 30 days without defending it when that's like the main event or the co-main event should have been like fatal four-way for the fucking title or the championship scramble bring back or something that no one we haven't seen in years. Instead of fucking, oh well, your wife's fired or your wife's quitting and now she's gonna slap me in the face. It's stupid shit. I mean, yes, the what CM said when I came in, it's gonna be good if Bryan can't compete and the match is a 6-man ladder match. But what's the whole point of calling it Money in the Bank now, with no Money in the Bank match?
Yeah, I'm with you. That's why I was just saying we'll discuss that too in detail. But go ahead, CM. I saw you raising your hand.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, I'm
go
ready
ahead,
for
bud.
the old school kindergarten shit there. Now that we mentioned that, what if they do bring back 2 Money in the Bank matches, one for the case and one for the title?
That would be a good idea, but it's WWE.
That would be a great main event right there.
It would be.
You could have the original open the show, and then they could have the other one later on that evening just to close it out. And that would bring more intensity, which means you can have 8 guys who are mid carders that can go for the case, and then you can have 8 top tier stars that can fight for this thing and see who gets it. And you get throw in Big Show, Kane, Randy Orton, Triple H if he wants to get involved, but I'm sure it'll be just COO again.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's hopes are high on CM Punk, but he's not coming back.
Yeah.
But hey, expect a lot of chants from all those who still believe.
Yeah. All right, real quick, not real quick, but Haley, because I know Charles, you probably want to have some more to say, but Haley, I want to about what the guys suggested, but also I want to hear your take on this whole Daniel Bryan thing, and the whole promo bit with Stephanie. I mean, how do you feel?
Well, he wasn't going to be gone for long anyways. He was only going to be gone for maybe a month and a half. He was going to miss one pay-per-view. So that's why I feel like they didn't take the belts off of him. Like, it wasn't going to be like a huge deal. And, I mean, I could see if he was going to be gone for 2 or 3 pay-per-views, then yeah, I definitely would have taken it off of him. But having him just having a minor surgery thing and having him being gone for 1 pay-per-view, I mean, they can easily fix it, and they did, with the Shield and the Evolution. As for the Money in the Bank, it's funny because people were trying to say that they're gonna have two Money in the Bank still, but they were gonna do something like whoever wins, they were gonna have 2 separate matches for WWE and World, but they were gonna combine them and have a triple threat match. And now that would actually be very good. But it would be a little weird, but I can see where they're coming from with that. Like, if they want to have a good triple threat match, and have 2 people. But as for Kane versus Daniel Bryan in a stretcher match, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it would be a good match. And then it would probably eventually end Kane and Daniel Bryan's feud, and it will bring it up to what I really want to happen, and that would be, as you know, my guy versus Daniel Bryan in the very near future for the WWE World Title, which I'm very excited for. But and the whole promo thing, John Cena, I've been a fan of him. I don't have anything against him. I like the guy, but that promo was very good. I really like how he speaks up his mind and everything, and he actually supports Daniel Bryan and says the truth. He says how good he is and everything like that, but people still boo him and everything like that. And it's funny because it's just like, well, he's speaking his mind, he's speaking the truth, he's supporting Daniel Bryan, you should be happy, you should be cheering him, but the whole heel thing, they still want the heel thing to happen, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I've always said, and great points, Haley. And I'm not just saying that because you're the star of Wrestling Impact, and they should be thanking their lucky stars they have of such a great
Yeah.
talent. I mean, I remember when I used to be maybe three-fourths of the talent like that, but hey, sometimes you just got to go. I mean, but I got to tell you, I appreciate your insight. Very good about that because I've actually said the same thing about how people want Cena to say something, but when he does, it's the John Cena factor. He can come out say something, and they'll boo him. He can not say something, and they'll still boo him. So it is what it is. CM, did you want to say something about that?
Yeah, about the whole Cena thing there. Yeah, you're 100% right there. You got all the fans that love him, and then you got all the ones that hate him. No matter what Cena does, it's 100% lose-lose. There's nothing in between that anymore. It's just, I can't stand the guy's gimmick much, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, if you do try to repackage him, is it really going to work? The guy has been doing this whole Word Life gimmick and Doctor Thugonomics. It's been running its course. They've tried changing a tire, which has been nothing more than camouflage shorts.
Hey, you should appreciate that.
But then he also has every color of the rainbow to Fruity Pebble himself. Call him Mr. Skittles or whatever you want to call him. Because he's
Taste the rainbow.
more like Taste his asshole. That's the way he.
Hey, you can get married for that.
Then you can call him Shittles. But yes, Cena's in a tough spot, and I have this feeling if he does lose that, or Brian loses the title, they're going to put Cena right back on top. And the only thing I could see coming out of that is, all right, Brian could come back and cut a promo saying how John, stepped up and put himself in this spot where, he was defending Brian. But at the same time, you put yourself in a spot where that you play politics to get yourself a world title shot. And the question is, will we see John Cena be a heel in this, or will we see Daniel Bryan be a mega heel? That's another rock in a hard place because you don't want to see Bryan turn because, like you guys would say on, matter of fact, I think we even talked about Sunday night. If you turn Daniel Bryan heel, it's not going to make a difference because his fan base is so over with the yes chant. And then at the same time, turning Cena heel isn't going to do anything. The crowd's already booing him anyway, so there's just not a whole lot to put into it.
It's a loss either way for both of them.
Yeah. I was going to say, Carl, what do you have to say, man?
Either way,
Do you want to respond to that?
You turn Brian heel, fucking nothing's gonna happen. You turn Cena heel, nothing's gonna happen. It's just the whole thing would be a total failure. Even if you put them against each other, failure. You have fucking Brian come out.
I mean, yeah, go on.
You have Brian come out, cut this whole 20-minute long heel promo, and everyone would be chanting, yes, yes, yes. Have Cena come out, cut a fucking 20-minute heel promo, you're going to get booed. So either way, nothing's going to change if you're trying to make shit change. Nothing's going to change ever. Now, not unless, something happened, like, what happened last night. The only way,
Well, yeah, and why wouldn't just Sheamus and Cesaro? Because let's be honest, guys, this Raw really was not that great, but because of what happened, these are segments that happened that made us go, damn, that was awesome. It took a moment for us to, had to recover from it. Haley, what, we're not talking matches, but out of what we saw so far, what match or is there something in Raw that we haven't talked about that you really wanted to maybe give a shout out about?
Well, the Seth thing was obviously the biggest thing, but if you're talking about like what happened already that we talked about, probably the biggest thing was the Stephanie and John Cena thing, I would say, because it talks all about Daniel Bryan and what's going to happen in the near future, and who he's Probably, what's going to happen with the titles and everything, what's going to happen at Money in the Bank, and how John Cena was getting booed again for sticking up for Daniel Bryan, like always, and all that stuff. It was John Cena does cut good promos, especially when he puts over people, but people still, and it's sad, it really is. I feel for the guy.
But see, what I don't
Yeah.
understand is Bryan can't compete. He's injured. Why are you going to defend the guy who's injured and can't compete?
Here, let me go ahead and interject on that because I get why he's defending them. All right, I do because if Daniel Bryan gives up the belts, will he get another rematch? I mean, I know obviously we all say, well, yeah, he should. He's a former champ. He's never been beaten. Um, but because of the whole angle, they're trying to make it, well, would he ever get a shot? And I've always said there's the storyline of the chaser and storyline of a champion. Daniel Bryan is a chaser. He is not. And maybe it's because WWE has watered down these promos. I think also every time he's talking, well, he never talks. He just sits there and you're hearing the fans go, yes, 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 and it's like,
Yeah.
can we please get a promo? I mean, please, can we at least get, because I know people crap on Cena, and Haley, you said it perfectly. Cena does cut good promos, but yet, you know, the man tries to get guys over, and yet, oh, he's just burying talent. He's no sell Cena. And it's like, really? Daniel Bryan hasn't even said a word, and the fans are going, yes, yes. He could go in and go, or remember when he goes, I want to believe you. I want to. It's like, oh my God. Can we get the paint drying, please?
Either way,
So,
even if Bryan comes back and tries to pull over someone, it's not going to happen because the crowd's just going to shit on that person. Like, let's just say it's Daniel Bryan and bad news. You know how over bad news is, he's going to get shitted on because of Daniel Bryan fan base.
yeah. What do you
So
have to say to that, Haley? Do you have a comment about that?
Um, I mean, I really like Daniel Bryan. I like John Cena and Daniel Bryan. I think they both cut good promos, but um, I can see why he gets so many cheers and everything like that. I mean, he's great. He's a great person, a great wrestler, and everything like that. But I guess people cheer for him no matter what he does, so that's why they had to turn him face because the heel thing just was not working for him. He just kept getting cheered more and more and more. And that's what they have to do. They don't like their heels getting cheered, and so that's why they do the face turns or, you know, they do anything to keep heels, and it's kind of like Antonio Cesaro too. That's why they're kind of making him kind of like, I don't know, like almost like, I mean, he was not really doing his Cesaro swing or his neutralizer. So that's why they're trying to take everything away that the fans are cheering for because he's heel and they don't want fans cheering for heels pretty much. And so that's why they're doing that. And it's kind of like the same thing if they did with Daniel Bryan. If they actually did turn him heel, it wouldn't work because they would just cheer for him no matter what.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, this is a hot button topic, and I'm glad we're talking about it. It deserves the attention it's getting. But let's go ahead and fast forward. I believe I said it in the press show when we were discussing what we're going to talk about. I wanted to talk about the Usos and the Wyatt match. And out of all the matches, this one stood out to me the most. No Bray Wyatt, and what a freaking promo Luke Harper gave to the people. The gimmick is still solid, and I mean, it was one of those you're just spellbound by hearing him talk. And the Usos were getting wild crazy. It was really a great setup to it, and Eric Rowan gets the pin and wins the match. Guys, CM, I wanted to hear your take. Haley, I definitely want to hear your take, and so do you, Carl. So I'm going to go ahead. CM, you're going to bat lead off on this topic. Go ahead and tell us what you thought of the match.
I love this match.
Or better yet, talk about the promo and then the match, okay?
All right, this promo.
Because I know how you are about the promo, yeah.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, I'm a promo master on this. When it comes to things like this, putting Harper on the mic is possibly one of the best things that the WWE can do now. I mean, the guy was cutting some serious promos, before he even ended up in NXT in the WWE. I saw some of his independent work where he was working as Brody Lee, and he would cut some promos at not house shows, but indie shows, and the guy was just head on. The guy has great mic skills. And let me tell you, if you thought Bray Wyatt was creepy with his promos, this guy was even more creepy because he sounded more serious than Bray does. The way that he puts it out there is just like, man, I'm glad it's known as a reality hour. I kind of wish that they start leaning on TV 14 so this guy can be a little bit more aggressive, because this guy deserves that opportunity to speak his mind freely in the reality era. As for this match, this is possibly the match of the night. Don't get me wrong, there were a lot of great matches on the card, but nothing could light a candle to this. We had that tag team match with Sin Cara and Goldust against the Rybacks. That was nothing. That was a match of improving two new tag teams that pit together. But this right here, this is just like the icing on the cake. High spots everywhere. Now on top of that, we saw Eric Rowan hit a side effect for the win. And although it was a little botched, I think it was because of his height and the way that I believe it was Jey Uso that took the fall. He landed on his back wrong. I'm surprised that wasn't an injury. But that was a great way to finish that off. Seeing a lot of high flying, and I'm not just talking about from the Usos, but I'm talking about from Harper as well. Let me tell you, this guy is at 6'2", 6'3", 260, 70 pounds, maybe more than 300. I forget. This guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are we watching TNA? Because I swear to God, I feel like we're seeing the X Division in action here. How long till we see Rowan start doing something like that and try to hit a 450 splash?
Coming soon.
But yeah, let me tell you, Flying Harper, a much more aggressive Eric Rowan. Let me tell you, you couldn't ask for anything else from those two. And the Usos playing that role. Are you really going to see two little guys defeat two giants? And now that they're in the tag team picture, don't be surprised. Money in the Bank, Harper Rowan versus Usos.
Great points, Carl. And I'm not trying to short this, but Carl, I want you to give your takes about this promo and the matchup itself.
Promo was just simply amazing. I mean, there's nothing to it. Fucking Luke Harper should get the mic more often. Eric Rowan, he should start to talk a little bit more. Especially with that mask on, it could get some little kids crying to mommy saying they're scared. Definitely. But it's impressive how they did it without Bray, too. Because usually Bray's the mouthpiece of everything, but it just shows that, Harper's got the mic skills without Bray Wyatt, which is amazing. But onto the match. The match was good. Great match. Fucking the Usos gave it their all. But, the team of Harper and Rowan, they just can't compete. Don't be surprised, like CM said, come Money in the Bank, it's going to be Harper and Rowan versus the Usos for the titles. I guarantee you, Harper and Rowan's come walking out. So there's no way, because they matched them in everything basically. They could high flying won't work because they can match them. They can overpower them. They could just swat them like little flies when it comes down to it.
Well, I hear you, and you bring some sub points. Haley, if you like, I definitely want to hear your takes on this one. I'm not going to interrupt. I want to hear it, so bring it on.
Bray Wyatt is always, the talker and everything like that. Luke Harper has done some talking, and he's done very good when he does talk. But it was really nice seeing that, Bray Wyatt was like out of the picture for that night, and Luke Harper did most of the talking because that guy, he can cut a mean promo. It's great. And then you got Eric Rowan, he's talking a little bit more now too, so that's very interesting. The promo was great though. I'm very excited, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of what Luke Harper has to say and everything, his promos and everything, because the guy can talk. And for the match, obviously, I really think, the match was great. Eric Rowan getting the pin, that was very surprising. It's good that they're actually giving him some spotlight now. Because, he was just kind of like the one that, like, people didn't talk about. It was always about Bray, and then the next one would have been Luke Harper saying, oh, Luke Harper is good, but he's not as good as Bray, and then Eric Rowan, like, no one talked about him.
He's like the Seth Rollins of the Wyatts.
It's good that, he's actually getting some spotlight. And for the Usos, I'm actually kind of excited to see them, because I'm pretty sure, CM said, and Carl, they said, it's going to be Usos and Wyatt family again for the titles. But, I'm excited to see the Usos lose, because I'm pretty sure they're going to lose, because they really haven't done anything. As much as I like the Usos, and I think they're a great tag team, they really haven't done much with the belts. So I think this will really do good for the Wyatt family to have those tag team belts. And it'll really, build up the promos, and it's going to be great, they're going to build up the tag team division, and I like that.
I want to ask you, do you think it's because they haven't done much with the tag team belts? Do you think for some reason it's killing off tag teams left and right?
Well, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, I really don't think they should have broken up. I think they should have been tag team champs too, and then they broke them off. They didn't really give them a chance. They broke them off too quick, and now they're breaking up Cody and Goldust. It's like they don't really have, and then now the Shield and everything. Dean and Roman can still go for them, but it's like they're just kind of killing them off one by one, slowly in different ways. And then they had Cody and Damian Sandow too. They killed them off. It's just they don't like having tag teams together for very long. I've noticed that. Like the Usos are like the only ones that have really actually stayed together for more than
Well, idea, not to cut you off.
That's all right.
But it was Triple H's idea to bring back tag teams. He's kind of got Vince's mindset on when to bring things back and when to destroy them. You're right. They shouldn't have broke up the primetime players, because look what happened. Darren Young's now on the injury list, and then Titus Young is this big old guy who jobs every match. On top of that, the only reason they lost both of their pushes, well, push number one was because of Abraham Washington. He made that Kobe speech, which immediately got him released. And then after that, push number two was, oh, well, Darren Young came out of the closet, so we're going to give him a nice little push for a while, but no title opportunity. And then we'll split him right on up. So a lot of things actually took place into this and kind of screwed the pooch up. But, it's the WWE, and they do whatever they want with their talent because their crew expendable.
I think, do you want to respond to that, Haley?
He's totally right. They gave him 2 pushes, but they never followed through. They had, maybe like 2 or 3 title matches all together, and they didn't do anything with them.
Mm-hmm.
You would expect, like, that one time, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but I really actually thought they were going to win, and they didn't. They, push them up, and then it's just like, oh, nope, you're still going to lose. And it's just like, well, what's the point of pushing them if they're not going to get the titles?
They're like the current Crime Time.
Definitely. You guys are coming up with some really good spots and very good points. Here's what I'm going to say. First of all, congratulations 3MB for being the longest. At Matadors, whenever you decide to lose the mask, I'll show some respect then. Primo Epico. Also, want to just say though, I think what the issue is becoming is when you're a tag team, if
Bully!
you are, yeah, if you're not totally dependent as a tag team, meaning if you're not like totally linked up and you can survive on your own, that's why they split the tag teams because they feel, hey, these guys can be on their own. But yeah, my thing is you got to have tag teams, because tag team wrestling gives you that break that you need, and guys can work together. And Haley, you are not sounding stupid whatsoever. You're coming off with some very good points. I think we all can agree. You know what you're talking about. To have you with us on these shows. So I'm going to say that if any guy wants to, agree, cool. Anyone disagrees, they can go kick rocks. Go ahead there, Carl, Mr. New Yorker.
Yep. I don't understand why are they, breaking up tag teams, because in NXT they got the Ascension.
Ascension,
When they come up, what are they gonna do? They, yes, they're gonna have a good match against the Wyatts, most likely, because I guarantee the Wyatts are still gonna be around when they get called up. But that's all, or even the Shield too, like Reigns and Ambrose. That's two good matches, really. There's no other tag teams that could really compete with them because they'll just blow through all of them. They're gonna. I guarantee you, when they get called up, they're gonna win the titles within the first 2 months of being on the main roster.
I think we're gonna have to do a show, CM. I think we're gonna have to do a show together with Haley, Carl, Brickwall, Charles, and we're gonna have to come up with ways or new tag teams. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, what possible tag team combinations could actually benefit the tag team division and them actually staying tag teams. Are you cool with that? I mean, not now. I mean, we could do it another day. What were we gonna say, Carl?
And, even in NXT, there's no tag teams. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Lucha. Yeah.
Oh,
I know, and I mean, you had the Lucha, El Local, and Casaya, whatever. I can't. I'm not even going to try to say the name because I'm going to screw it up anyway. Calicio?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it, CM?
something like that.
Yeah, all I know is he could say Lucha. So another, easy
Tyson
promo
Kidd.
to go with.
No, I call him Evan Bourne.
How about
we found out it's not Evan Bourne. It was. Yeah, go ahead.
How about you just get Chris Hero back and have Cesaro and Chris Hero team up? There you go. Save the tag team. Right there.
Chris Hero could be a Paul Heyman guy too. That would work.
Right.
There's going to be many ways we're going to go through this. But
You'll be
Haley,
back.
do you want to say something on this?
Yeah.
I mean, what happened with the whole? I know he's in NXT now, but Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. Actually, I think they're both kind of in NXT right now. But I mean, they were supposed to be. Even when Titus Kidd came back, they said that they were going to still have them together, and they just completely blew that up. I mean, they could have been a good tag team. They both kind of, they worked really well. They had like the same kind of thing going on, with high flying and everything. They could have been a great tag team, but they killed it. And now they're thinking of putting a mask on Tyson Kidd. That's crazy.
Thank you for mentioning that. I want to thank you for that. I saw that too, and I didn't really want to discuss it because I thought it would do injustice on the way Tyson Kidd performed in the matchup. I was very disappointed in that. So yeah, I want you to know that was. I'm glad you mentioned that. There's rumors of them saying they're going to put a mask on Tyson Kidd to try to get him over. Tyson Kidd can get over. Stop burying him. Have him become a Paul Heyman guy, and maybe pair him up with Cesaro, win the belts. And then. We're talking about how can you turn Cesaro face? Tyson Kidd could screw him over. Tyson Kidd becomes one of those heels. But now with what's going on, we can also mention later on, the main event was booked Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. And I'm going to tell you guys, this was, I almost swear to God, I thought this was going to break Twitter. I heard people going crazy. We had, yes, I'm not talking about Afro Hornswoggle and, his Hulk Hogan haircut. But, and yeah, we had Del Rio beat Ziggler in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. That's why, CM, I really like your take, by the way, on have two Money in the Bank matches. One for the Money in the Bank, the other for the title. I think that would be more impactful than the stretcher match. You put
Yeah.
Kane, Daniel Bryan has an open spot, and Randy Orton or somebody we all know, Seth Rollins. Or better yet, I don't want to put Seth in that just yet because here's why. You put him in the Money in the Bank match with Dean Ambrose. Roman could be in the Money in the Bank in the title picture match with Randy, Cena, Kane, open spot for Bryant. Roman wins the Money in the Bank, celebrating. Seth comes out. Just a moment there. Yeah, sorry,
Well,
didn't mean to bust the bubble there for some
if
people.
that happens, they're probably gonna have to reach an Orton, give Reigns the beatdown, and then have Rollins come in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the Money in the Bank matches, or a lot of matches in total, tend to be very physical, very, and your Money in the Bank match itself usually is the first match in the
Mhm.
pay-per-view, so that the guys can rest up and cash it in. So, that could be done very well. But, guys, let's just jump in. Because, CM, I got to hear your thoughts. Haley, I want to make sure you get your takes in. Carl, me and you, we kind of go with the same route. But I loved your take, and I want you to give it again. So, let's talk about it. Shield enters the ring. Epic promo. Talking, basically celebrating their win. I mean, damn right they should, because it was an epic win. You swept Evolution. You made Batista quit. What was your thoughts on this, my friend? We're gonna start
Wow.
with you, Carl.
Um,
Well,
Absolutely.
CM. I want to get Carl's take. CM,
ah,
let me get Carl's take, and then I want to get your take. I'm sorry, man. Don't mean to switch up on you.
okay.
Oh man, fucking, sweeping Evolution. That's a big part. Shield's coming out, all that momentum. But like I said last night, you didn't think what happened last night was going to happen because at the end of the match, you have Reigns and Rollins hugging each other, acting like all best friends, brothers to the end. And then Triple H comes out the next night with the hammer. Rollins gets the chair and fucking beats the shit out of Ambrose and Reigns. Like it was like you didn't think it was gonna happen because of everything that happened on Sunday. The whole big hug, whole Band of Brothers thing. Like you didn't think that would happen. So, kudos. But
All right.
also, like I said last night, this is a good thing for Rollins now because whoever was with Triple H back in 04, 03, when Evolution was originally started, they went on to be multiple-time champions. So you can already tell
Yep.
that Rollins is going to be a multiple-time champ now. He's going to probably skip.
Yep.
He's going to skip the U.S. and IC title and go straight to the world titles.
Wow, I like that. Well, I want to get to that take that you did say, but let's go to CM. CM, come on, brother, bring it.
Dude,
Recovering from I know you're recovering from the beatdown that Seth gave you, but go ahead and just give it up, man.
wow. Just wow. Who saw this coming? Seriously, who saw this coming? Because I didn't. We've been talking about this for weeks now. Of course, we also talked about a spoiler in a WWE magazine that was also leaked online. I didn't expect the breakup to happen like that. Plan B, mission accomplished. After all the celebrating they did, all the domination from WrestleMania up to Dream Rules, up to this payback here, I really don't know how to digest this properly. But you know what? Now we're starting to see. We talked about how he was, well, I said how he was the weak link in the group, the way he was acting out all those times, and then he came out and started doing a little bit more than guys like Roman and Dean. He became the breakout star of the Shield and now Evolutionary. Wow, is all I can really say right now. That's the feeling you get because you were expecting something different. But I'll take a chair shot to the back just for that.
I mean, you
Damn
also
straight.
like you wouldn't
Like, and here's the worst part of it, and I'm gonna be honest. I missed almost all of Raw, and I woke up early this morning to catch all 3 hours, and watching all that and seeing it happen, I'm just like trying to put what I have left of my hair out, thinking, no, please tell me this isn't real. Oh my God, it just happened. And then you see the backstage shot of Triple H, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, there's no Batista now. He picked up his ball and he went home. But now the question is, did he join Evolution or did he just leave the Shield? Just because we're seeing pictures, we can't speculate if he actually joined Evolution yet. We have to wait until either Friday night on SmackDown or next Monday on Raw to see what inspired him to do this and what led to it. Because I'm sure he's going to be saying, he's been carrying this team around for almost a year now. The whole entire time they've been switching back and forth of, do we want to be face? Do we want to be heel? Do we want to carry this? I've been doing all the work. He's basically the sacrificial lamb, doing all them high spots, giving himself up for the Shield for what in the end. But yeah, I see the crowd really hating him now for what he did. Them chair shots to the back, I don't care how staged they are, that had to hurt. If I took a shot like that, I'd probably be in tears right now. But it is what it is. Got a heel turn. And damn.
I mean, can you say that Seth Rollins is the number one heel right now?
Why not? Well,
after doing that, he would earn that spot as the number one heel. And you know what? He's better off a heel. I mean, as a face, he would be a cruiserweight doing all these high flying moves. But now as a heel, he can be twice as aggressive. Ambrose can be the same way. I'm just curious how they're going to play this out from here now.
I mean, that curb stomp to the chair, that fucking was pretty aggressive, so,
Yeah. All right. I want to hear your take, Haley. Your profile pic, I'm, going to play spoiler a little bit, Seth and Dean. So, I know you're a big Seth Rollins fan, so have at it. The floor is yours. Uninterrupted. Go for it.
Okay. Well, there's a lot to say. You guys know Seth is my favorite wrestler right now. He's my world right now. I've always said that he was the number one guy in the Shield. I've always told people that he was going to be the star, and he was the best. And people kept telling me he was only going to be a mid-carder and everything like that. And I'm just like, no. I'm like, he was the first NXT champion. There's no way that they're going to make him a mid-carder. So I get a whole bunch of, my Facebook's blowing up last night, and they're saying, oh my God, Haley, do not look at your wall, do not look at your messages, stay the hell off Facebook. I know you haven't seen it yet, just don't even look at Facebook right now, something big happens, just stay the hell off Facebook. And I said, okay. And so I said, something's going to happen with the Shield, and I'm just like, well, something big's going to happen tonight. And so I see, and then the Shield comes in the ring and everything, and I see Seth. He's kind of weird, He's kind of acting a little weird, and I'm just like, Seth's not acting like, like he's real happy. He's just kind of being quiet to himself. And I'm just like, what the heck's gonna happen? And Dean's all happy, and then Roman, he's, I don't know. And so I see Triple H and Randy Orton come out with the sledgehammer. And I'm just like, oh, this is great, you know. And then I see Seth get out of the ring, and I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing? And then I see him get 2 chairs, but he doesn't give one to Dean or Roman, just him. He just gets one for himself. And I say, this does not look good. I'm just like, this is too weird. Why wouldn't he hand the other one to Roman or to Dean? Like, this is crazy. This is bizarre. And then all of a sudden, Triple H talks about Plan B. Plan B. There's always a Plan B. And I'm like, oh no, tell me that. And I'm just like, oh God, no. And then all of a sudden, I just see Seth give a massive chair shot to the back of Roman, and I'm just like, oh. And the look on Dean's face was priceless. Like, I mean, just everyone was in complete shock. You could just see the audience just in complete shock. Like, this was the last thing they would have expected. Out of all 3 members, Seth would have been the one that they least expected to do this. And, you know, it was crazy. And, you know, when people look at Seth, they see the innocent one, the baby face. They say, oh, he's going to be a baby face. I can't see him being a heel. You know, he's too nice. He's too sweet. They see Dean being the heel. And, you know, and this is why I think WWE did this, because everyone was saying that, oh, you know, when the Shield breaks up, Dean's probably going to go, or Dean and Seth are going to turn. You know, they never expect Seth to be the one to turn on them, because he's the innocent one. They see that him as a baby face. But the funny thing is now that I look at it, he really isn't a baby face. He's a heel. He can be a massive heel. He has the talking, he has the wrestling for it. I mean, his trash talking has skyrocketed in the past, you know, 2 years. You know, he was good before, but now he's great. He's getting like really high up there with the talking. And he's going to be a massive heel. This is going to be so good for him. You know, I was heartbroken at first. I'm not going to lie. But not because I was heartbroken because of the Shield. I knew it was going to happen soon, but I didn't expect Seth to do it. But then I was thinking to myself, this is great. Like, this is like Shawn Michaels turning on Marty Jannetty. You know, this is like that big of a heel turn, because it's so unexpected and so crazy that you just can't see it happening. And he's going to just be... the only thing I hope that they don't do is I hope Triple H does not make him his bitch. Like, I hope he doesn't just make him, like, do the dirty work. I actually hope he makes him the face, you know, and eventually, a few months down the road or whatever, faces Daniel Bryan and gets the title. I can definitely see this, and it's going to be so great for Seth. He deserves the push. If they were going to do anything, they needed to push Seth. You know, everyone was talking about how they were pushing Roman, and then all of a sudden, Roman just he slowed down for a little bit with the push, and they were kind of pushing Rollins more. And this just really proves that they really, I mean, this was the right move, because I think Seth is ready the most with the moves, the talking. He's the massive heel now, and I'm very happy and I'm very proud of him, and he deserves this push, and he gets everything that he's going to get everything he deserves, because he is a phenomenal wrestler, and I love him to death. You know, he's my favorite right now, you know, so I mean, what can you say? I mean, this was a phenomenal heel turn, and like I told you last night, I was talking to you, Chris, you know, I told you I was heartbroken, you know, and I heard, you know, you guys were talking about in my messages and stuff like that on your show last night, because I was, but now that I really slept on it and I thought about it, and I've watched the video over 20 times, because I just keep playing it back in my head, and it's real. Like, you know, what Sam said, is this a dream or is this real? And it's real, and it's amazing.
Awesome. And well put, Haley. Charles, you're back in. You know,
Finally.
I'm not going to have you go through everything, because you did our show with us last night. But
Yeah.
give us your take. Seth Rollins, because you also had a very good take on it. Seth turning heel, basically, joining Triple H. What do you think?
Excellent. I like I said last night, I think that by and large, head and shoulders, he is the most talented member of the faction as far as the Shield goes. I think it spoke volumes that he was chosen to be the one to do the turn. I think that speaks to that fact that they really realize, and that more so Hunter and creative, et cetera, and so forth down the line as far as the powers, they recognize the fact that he's that talented. Um, and as just from a creative standpoint, it's about time. I think about it. When is the last time that you watched a Monday Night Raw or a Friday Night SmackDown, et cetera, and so forth, where you were actually surprised? When is the last time that happened? It made me feel like I was watching WCW Monday Nitro again. For just a minute, just a second, it made me feel like, hey, I'm surprised that something finally happened. We're back to the glory days, you know what I mean? So, excellent.
Yeah. This is what I want to say. This, we talked about the reality error, and everyone wanted to kind of tie it with Batista when he said that, and Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
The reality error has now officially begun because Seth Rollins made it so. There are guys that need to be that transcendent character. Triple H, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins. It's the progression of the evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Randy still getting a push from this, but yet Seth is now going to be the high volume guy. He is going to be the guy with the heat. Haley, you said it perfectly. Seth made it very clear he was in with Triple H when he grabbed those chairs and did not give one to Dean. Dean's face when he realized, the fans' shock. This is what I was going to say. If it was Dean Ambrose, all of us wouldn't have been surprised. If it was Roman, we would have been like, okay, really? I guess they need a new power guy, new Batista. But it's Seth. It's the heart, the soul of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he sold it to Triple H. Plan B, you get the guy that's the glue of the Shield. You get the fighter. Guys, we're talking about the pay-per-view and how Seth Rollins had the most epic moment. That move off the Titantron was the turning point in Payback.
Yep.
Haley, you called it right. He is the star of this group. He has been gone that way. Everyone likes Roman because he's the sex symbol. Yeah, let's call it what it is. But Seth is the total package in talking. And I want to go to Carl real quick. Carl, you said it perfectly. This is going to determine who are the bandwagoners and who are the real Tyler Black / Seth Rollins fans. Haley, you've proven you are that. Well, hold on. You've proven, Haley, that you are that true Seth Rollins / Tyler Breeze fan. And go ahead, Carl, real quick.
I know last night after we got done with the show, I was having arguments with the whole, with like half of our fans on Wrestling World News with the Triple H, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins picture. They're like, oh, it can't be, or this is photoshopped, or Rollins sold out. Like, no, he didn't sell out. What he basically did was sell in or buy in to a better career.
Exactly.
You can't hate the man for wanting to go places and not be. Like, now that happened, the Shield, like Rollins or Reigns and Ambrose are going to be here, Rollins is going to be up here.
Exactly.
Can't hate the man for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And all the fans that were cheering him on Sunday started to boo him on Monday. It's like, like, is that what wrestling is nowadays? Like, you're going to like people because, they do all these things, and then when, they attack their teammates, you're going to boo the shit out of them? Like, no, you gotta like the guy for his wrestling ability. Like, yeah, like the whole thing with Daniel Bryan, too. Like, when I was saying the only reason why he's over is because of the yes chants. The only reason why the Shield was over because, they were helping Daniel Bryan. Now that Rollins turned his back on the Shield, he's gonna get booed the shit out of him, which is stupid. You know, it doesn't make sense. Guy's a great wrestler.
Well, but yeah.
You know, he's great on the mic.
Go ahead.
And it's like, it's stupid. You know, and people will sit there and say, oh, well, I followed him since ROH. I don't like what he did now. It's like, then why, you know, then you're not a true fucking Rollins fan. You're really not. If you're going to say, oh, you followed him all these years, and then now he turned his back on the Shield, you're going to be like, oh, well, you know, fuck him.
Yeah. You know, and, Charles, I know Charles said it perfectly, Haley, and he said loyalty is expensive. You said that you have so much more to say, and Papa Smurf, just yet, CM, but yes, he is Papa Smurf. But Haley, you said you could speak more. Please, just let it out. Just tell us. I mean, because I love your take, and I want to hear what you have to say. You know, this show was for you, CM, and kind of getting out there. I want your takes out there.
Well, I'll always
speak.
love Seth. I mean, there's nothing that he can do to make me hate him. That's how much I love him. Like, I seriously, he is amazing. There's something about him that just no matter what he did, even, I mean, no matter how crazy, whatever he does, it's just, I love him. Like, that's how much and how big of a fan I am. Like, I mean, people get annoyed with me because I post pictures all over of him on my Facebook, and I really don't care, and I talk about him 24/7, and I really don't care because he is my guy, and I've supported him since day one. And even in ROH, I didn't watch too much. I watched like when he was kind of like heel and he had the titles, but my brother told me, check out this guy, Tyler Black. He's amazing. You'd really like him. And I looked at him and I was just like, this guy has the stuff. He has everything. And when he came to WWE, I was so excited. And when he won the NXT title, it was just like, this is the one person that should have been the first NXT champion. They actually made the right decision by doing that. And I was so excited that he was, and I'm like, they better not mess him up. They better not screw with him and make him a mid-carder, There's a guy on Wrestling Impact, and I like him, I agree with him on most of the things, but he keeps arguing with me about how Seth's not going to do anything, and he's still saying that they're not going to do anything with Seth still, and it's just like, how can you say that? He just had a massive heel turn, and he's with Triple H and Randy Orton now. Like, how can you say that they're not going to do anything with him after last night? He's still trying to say that he's going to be a mid-card and stuff like that, and it's just like, you are absolutely insane if you think that, and that's my opinion. I mean, you're free to have your own opinion, I'm not trying to, make anyone upset here, but, you are crazy if you think that he's still going to be a mid-carder after this, because he's going to be the first Shield member with that title. There's no way in hell that he's not going to be now because of this massive push they just gave him. I mean, he's incredible. He deserves it. He's the one that deserves it the most. I've been saying it since day one. He was the star of the Shield, and if people got mad at me and, said, oh, no, Roman's better, Dean's better, it's just like, no, because Dean, even though he's an incredible talker and I love him, his wrestling doesn't even compare to Seth. And, I might get hate from that, but that's my opinion. And Roman, he's just the powerhouse. He needs to work on his talking. Seth has it all. Seth has the whole package. He was the one to turn. He was the one that they needed to push. And I'm glad that they pushed him, because I was so mad when they started pushing Roman, because I'm just like, he's not ready. I mean, yes, he has the wrestling ability. Yes, he's incredible. All three of them are incredible. All three of them need to be made honors. But Seth has it all. Seth is the number one guy, and I was so excited when they're finally going to push him first, and it's well deserved.
Awesome, well said. CM, did you want to make a comment about that?
I really don't have anything to comment on it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I know you enjoyed that whole Papa Smurf gimmick. So do you think Papa Smurf is the man that's going to save us now? Hashtag Gargamel. This is the reality here, baby.
I have to watch the new Smurfs movie to see which role he would play in there. He'd probably be the retarded Smurf that was uncredited. So
He'd be the Smurf that keeps on saying, "Deal with it."
I really. You know, don't be surprised when they make a Smurf one the next one.
Well, real quick, out of all the heel turns, this has to be number one, isn't it? I mean, look at the response everyone's getting. Yeah, I saw that there, Carl. What do you say, CM, to that?
That heel turn?
Yeah.
Shocking.
Plan B.
Just shocking. Plan B? I always thought Plan B kick her down the steps, but yeah, I guess you can make that Plan C now. Yeah, this way was just an unexpected turn of events. In a way, you kind of need something like that to happen, something to freshen it up. But hey, man, it's a WWE, and anything can freaking happen there. Too bad Jim Ross wasn't there to call that one, because let me tell you, by God, man, Hellfire and Brimstone, it's Seth Rollins.
He sold his soul to the devil.
But you know what?
Alright.
It's what the WWE needed, and it's better him than anyone else.
Yep. Awesome, awesome. Charles, you said that loyalty is expensive.
Yes, sir.
And
it is.
Haley just talked about how a certain person wants in Wrestling Impact thinks that Seth is still going to be a mid-carder. I'm with Haley. I disagree with that certain person who likes to wear some lipstick occasionally. What do you think about? Yeah.
It's because that certain.
Go ahead there, Lucy.
It's because that certain person's a mid-carder.
It's not even who
Oh, now you're insulting mid-carders.
It's because he's a mid-carder. Listen, about as far as Seth Rollins goes, no, I mean, I wanted to add something to what Carl was saying earlier. You know, how people were saying that he sold out, et cetera, and so forth. When Carl was talking, it kind of reminded me, remember a few years back when LeBron decided to leave Cleveland and go to Miami?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And people said he sold out. No, what he did was he made the move necessary to advance in his career. He made a business decision. He made a man decision. And hey, I mean, the Shield's nice and they're hot and they're young, but if you want to get up and if you want to advance, you got to roll with the big dogs. And everybody knows Triple H is the big dog.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And plus,
I mean, I think if it's. Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
It's proven fact that anyone who was with Triple H all went on to become
success.
Well, yeah. Look at Randy Orton, 9-time champ. Batista's like what, 7? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The same thing is going to be for Rollins. It's proven fact. When you're in Evolution, your career go places.
Yeah, the body of work speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm. I can see like maybe, Randy Orton went on and Batista just stood as a mid-carder, but no. He went up there too. So if you're going to sit there and say Rollins is just going to be a mid-carder, you're completely wrong. You're completely wrong, because history will repeat itself.
From the last I checked, Rollins has already been a main eventer.
Yeah.
He's been a main eventer.
Yeah.
And not only that, but in my humble opinion, and I said it last night, Chris, and I'm sure you'll remember, as far as all the Shield Evolution matches go thus far, in my opinion, I think Rollins has been the standout, not only in Payback, but in every single match that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the standout.
Yeah.
I think he's consistently the standout in the ring. And I think, to be honest with you, I think maybe they had ideas for Ambrose or Reigns to go over first, but I think Rollins' performance in the ring just kind of dictated otherwise.
Yeah.
I think he changed his own destiny. Maybe he wasn't going to be the guy to go, but after you've seen what he did, How can you deny it? How
Yeah.
can you
Well,
deny
think
it?
about that epic moment.
Mhm.
Think, Halo. I was talking with you when that epic moment happened. When Seth went flying on that Titantron. And I kept telling people, this is the guy. Every time Seth was involved in the match, I said, he's stealing the show. He's the guy.
Every
You're
time.
hearing it from Carl. You're hearing it from CM. You're hearing from Charles.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I mean, knowing how that keeps going, how do you feel about that?
He totally was, and I told everyone in Wrestling Impact, I said he was the star, and a lot of people just said, okay, okay, and it's just like
Mhm.
seriously, how was he not the star of the main event on Payback? Like he saved the match twice. He came out of nowhere, and
Mhm.
I mean he kneed Triple H in the face, and then he came off the Titron and just collapsed on everyone. I mean, how was he not the star? He completely turned. They were getting their ass kicked, and he completely came out of nowhere and just completely turned the match. Like I knew that they were gonna do something with him after Sunday night. I mean, he was crazy, and he's getting all these death threats on Twitter from this heel turn, and it's just like, well, obviously, the heel turn was the best thing that could have happened because he obviously had an amazing heel turn. If people are, there was a picture of someone burning his action figure and saying that he
Wow.
hopes he dies,
Wow.
and
That's the
it's
same
like,
thing with
That
LeBron.
Hey, they did it back in the
yeah.
80s and back in the Attitude. Look at Sergeant Slaughter. We'll use him as a prime example. When
Mhm.
they did the whole, back in that day, that was the Desert Storm.
Mhm.
And, Slaughter was already a heel, but when they had him work with Mufasa, or whatever you call him, we call him the Iron Sheik, um, you know, Slaughter had to have escorted security because that's how tight the tension was. And during that time, that was all about patriotism. So you saw how America stood up against a heel that they thought was real, that he joined, the Middle Easterns. And then back
Mhm.
in the Attitude Era, when you had guys like The Rock would receive death threats because he went from being the Flex Kavana all the way up to a corporate sellout and a nation of domination guy. And he
Yep.
saw threats where it said "Die Rocky Die," and then fans started bringing signs to the arena, and he fed off of that energy, But with this whole Rollins turn heel thing, people are blowing it way out of proportion. If you're going to take it that serious, you need to stop watching it. That's
Mhm.
where the line gets drawn.
Mhm.
I mean, you can have passion for this business. I know I do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also the spectator. I watch and I observe. If we
Mhm.
see it coming, we accept it. You can't always get what you want. It's not your company. If you want that person to stay face, make your own product. See if it lasts for more than a year and see how it works from there. Other than that, just suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. Right.
If you can't hang,
You
then
know,
put on your
I wanted
lipstick and
to.
hang out with Stassi.
Stassi reference. What can I say? I can't. He's a loose cannon. I can't control
Hey,
him.
you know what,
Look.
Chris? Go ahead.
What's up? Go ahead, Charles. Speak the truth.
No, what I was thinking about with what CM was saying and what you were saying earlier, you know how you were kind of alluding to the fact that it's probably maybe could be the biggest heel turn ever, and then Haley
Yeah.
brought up the death threats, et cetera, and so forth. And what I said earlier with making the analogy as far as how it transcended when LeBron left Cleveland and went to Miami. The fact that he's getting death threats, the fact that it's actually transcended like that, is a pretty good indication that you could be right. It could very well be the biggest ever. It very well could.
Yeah. It has to be. Let me put it this way, guys. I always thought two heel turns was epic. Number two, Hulk Hogan turning on everybody when he did the New World Order.
Yep.
Yep.
Thought that was epic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it changed the face of history with
Mm-hmm.
WWE and WCW.
Yep.
But then to me the best one had to be Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, because it came a term of you got Jannetti'd, meaning you got thrown through the damn window and got turned on. And Shawn
Uh-huh.
Michaels went this way, Jannetty went that way. It is
Yep.
what it is.
Yeah.
To me, Triple H handpicked the moment.
Yes, sir.
And he went to, because you had this epic group as the Shield, and people loved the Shield. They jumped on it. We all loved it. Some of us, even when they were heels, we were like, "This is the crew. This is the crew." My favorite guy was Seth. My favorite guy was Roman. It's like you could pick any of them, and you were not wrong. I like the crew aspect because I was like, "This is different. This is new." And then they started getting over it. They started getting over it. And then I was realizing, like you said, Haley, the real superstar was Seth.
Mm-hmm.
He was standing out. Charles, you said it perfectly. Every match, Seth was coming up with the high spots. Seth was doing the stuff. Seth saved, and how many times did Seth save the bacon? I mean, come on. He did that knee to Triple H right when he was about to hit him with the sledgehammer. That was an epic moment. But he made himself a superstar off that Titantron. That will be replayed over and over. And the way he spoke, he can talk. I said he could be the next CM Punk. Bump that. He's the first Seth Rollins. That's what he has done. He has said enough with and now you're joining Triple H. Carl, you said it perfectly. You hang with Triple H, you learn from that tree, guess what you become? Champion. Yeah, people that whine and cry and want to, piss in people's Cheerios, get over it. It's the reality here. What the hell did you expect?
Exactly.
Did you expect, the Shield just conquered the greatest mountain. What the hell did you expect? What 6-man crew or 3-man crew could ride up against the Shield after that? Nobody. Someone had to turn.
It was time.
And I think why people are so pissed is because it's their beloved one. You said it, Haley. The innocent one. The one that kept the family together. Well, I'm not going to call a man cute, but, it is what it is. Now, if Lana turned on Rusev, I would cry too. But anyway. But, but yeah, it was what everybody, guy they, rallied behind, and he did it, and it's like, oh my God, did I just... CM said it perfectly. Did I see what I just saw? He woke up in the morning and saw his computer going, holy shit, and he sees seeing Rollins arms folded with Triple H and Randy Orton. You can't get a better reaction like you gotten. People sending death threats, people getting mad, people swearing off wrestling.
That's a heat.
That is why it's the best heel turn. Yeah.
What was it that Triple H said?
You know what, guys?
Back? Go ahead, Chris.
Adapter Parish? No, go ahead. No, say what you're going to say.
What did he say about Seth Rollins a few weeks back? He said, I'm going to pick the wings off of that little hummingbird. Well, come to find out that hummingbird's got pretty big wings, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yep, and the thing is, Triple H realized about Seth, he probably realized, if you're going to kill the Shield, you need to get the glue. You need to get the heart and soul. Do you argue with that? That's, yeah.
Yep.
You don't,
talking about that.
It's the heart.
I'm reading one of the channels I hang out in, and it says, from one user, whether you hated the plot twist, thought it was premature, or you loved it, and it has you excited about the wars to come. WWE pulled off without letting the cat out of the bag, meaning this leak was not, this little thing right here was not leaked at all. They kept that so bottle tight, I guess you could call it, to where that's why they give you the shocker. But yeah, this was one of the greatest things that you couldn't leak out. We did not see this coming. We did not expect it. WWE went all balls out for this, and I'm glad they did. We needed something new. We needed something fresh. We just didn't expect it to happen from the Shield, but I guess I guess we could throw away the whole Vince Russo books Raw thing because no one's joining the Shield. Everyone's joining Evolution now. So no, we need has joined Evolution.
Well, you know what?
Joined the Shield because he's allergic to nuts.
Now, you know how you can tell. Now you can tell this heel turn is gonna be like one of the greatest heel turns out of in a while. Because when CM Punk was heel and he started the whole straight edge society thing, he was getting death threats. He was getting people, going over to him saying he's not Jesus Christ and he shouldn't be trying to save people. Telling him to go fuck himself, kill himself, all that other shit. That's how you know you're going to be a great heel. Same thing.
Yeah.
He's getting death threats already, and people are burning his action figure. He's gonna be. It's gonna be the greatest heel turn. The fucking crowd is just gonna boo the holy fucking piss out of him, and that's gonna be good. That's what he wants. And
Oh yeah. That's what you. Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
All right, real quick, Carl, go ahead and give your. Can that be your final thoughts, or do you want to say something else real quick?
Daniel Bryan's a selfish prick, and there you go.
All right, fair enough. All right, Charles, go ahead and give us your final statement of the show here. All right, I think Charles froze on us. So, Charles, when you get back, we may be off, but you could get back in the after show. CM, go ahead, brother.
All right.
Let's be honest. Real quick, if it wasn't for this segment, Raw would have been a 2. But because of this segment, it's a 5-star show because you had an epic moment. So, go ahead, CM. And Charles, I'll get to you after CM. Go ahead, CM.
You're absolutely right. Except I'm going to give Raw a 3. The show itself got a 3. That segment was a 5.
All right, that's cool.
I'm going to separate that from the rest of the show. I'm going to call that the after show because let me tell you, these guys, that promo, the match that never happened, thank God it didn't because it probably would have been boring anyway. And I'm not saying it in the fact that, Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, they're both top guys now, but 2 big guys in a ring that have neither any decent mic skills and their work is very 5 moves of doom type. And all we'd see is a spear and a super punch and a bunch of generic moves. So I guess we could say that Roman Reigns isn't exactly the top-notch guy they were looking for after all. But yeah, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 and the segment a 5 out of 5 just because of that, man. They could have done that for the whole 3 hours and I would have given that show a 5-star.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, Charles, I'm glad you're back. Tell us what you thought, man. Your final thoughts on the turn and also Raw in general.
The turn, as far as show goes, the way I kind of always broke them down was Reigns was the look, Ambrose was the personality, but more importantly than all that, and I said it, I'll say it again, Rollins is the talent. He's the talent. He was the talent. He has been the talent. He's going to go further than either one of those guys, in my opinion. As far as the show, I'm going to say 5. And we need more of that. Surprise me again next week. That should be a weekly thing. And it could be. That's the thing.
Right.
They have the ability and the talent. That could be a normal thing.
Well, all right. Haley, I was holding you out for last. Give me your final thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say. And you've been a star in this. I want to tell you, so glad that you were able to join us. And, guys, please follow her at Haley, IMES. And, I would say watch her show, Wrestling Impact, but I don't want everyone to be bored by the other people. But if you just watch for her, you will be entertained. She is really the best.
Yeah, it's hard
Go ahead,
to
Haley.
When I have to listen to Haley because I'd rather listen to her than to see someone else cut lame promos and use the terms well and anyway because, face it, it's lame.
That's what I told her this morning. The other guy's just there to carry her bags.
Hey! Copyright infringement, buddy. You're taking.
Exactly.
All right. Let's hear from the queen here. Go ahead there, Haley. Speak.
Um, well, like I said, I've always said this. Seth Rollins is CM Punk number 2. I've told people this. Like he is, and I think he proved it last night because when CM Punk turned heel, he was known as the face at first, but then when he first came in, but then when he got into, he skyrocketed and went to a heel, he was the heel of the of WWE. I mean, he was the number 1 heel, and that's exactly what Seth is. They want to say that Dean's the next CM Punk, but it really, if you look, I don't see anything similar. I mean, their promos are I see Dean more as a Roddy Piper, but
Oh yeah.
CM Punk and Seth are they not only do they look very much alike, but I mean they're so much alike in the ring and so much alike when they talk and just everything. The heel is just crazy, and this turn was just like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty because, you got Seth, turning on his best friends. I mean, and that's what made it so great because no one's seen it coming, and that's why they're so upset and giving him death threats and everything like that. And, I actually tweeted Seth last night and I said, ignore him. I said, you are phenomenal, and I said, you deserve this push, and I'm so happy for you. But he's probably going to be Twitter quiet for a week until he actually confronts, because I have a feeling they're probably not going to do it until next Raw. But this was like the best heel turn, and I'm proud of him and everything. In the show, like you guys said, it wasn't really anything like special except for the very ending. The very ending made it like the shocker of since God knows how long. I mean, it seriously was amazing. So the show, it probably was like a 2 or a 3, but that segment made it a 5. Just by that segment was just it was incredible, and I loved every second of it.
Well, Haley, that's why it was so important to get you on the show. I wanted to make sure we got your take. Very strong stuff. I even tweeted Seth to tell him, great job. We stand on Team Seth because of the fact that, CM, you said it perfectly. Death threats, that's kind of crossing the line, but yet you reached the people. You got the reaction you wanted. If you would have just heard crickets, nothing good would have happened. Then I would have been worried because the reaction was the reaction. Man, I mean, it gave us part 2 of this show, for God's sakes. I had to have CM on the show. I had to have Haley on the show because I had to hear y'all's takes. That's how important this was to me. We don't take damn days off missing a pay-per-view. We don't go missing Raw. You talk about it when it happens. There's no reason to debate whether, it is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. How can you do a wrestling show and say, oh, we talk about wrestling, but you won't talk about pay-per-view after the pay-per-view. You won't talk about the Raw right after it happens because, what, you want to write a book? Go work the damn corner, Stassi. Anyway, I was saying.
He's too busy making birthday cards for Velvet Sky.
Thank you. We had a great pay-per-view, and he wants to make birthday cards for Velvet Sky. By the way, Velvet, happy belated birthday. Join WWE and become something with yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Carl. He's one of the new guys on Open Wrestling Talk. Carl, thank you so much. I love your take, man. If you're on Skype, bro, you better add us. We're going to have you on Destroying Kayfabe also. Charles, same with you, man. If you're on Skype, we got to get you on there so we can have you join Destroying Kayfabe also. And let me tell you something, guys. I know I may be controversial. I know I may be, such a bad person. But, I got to thank the guy that got me totally into this, doing wrestling shows, taught me everything I know. And it was not Dos Santos, that little prick. So, Scott Feinfog, you want to know who that man was? It's this man, C.M. motherfucking Styles from Destroy Kayfabe, my homie, my brother from another mother.
It's
The guy that, if Triple H said, I want you to turn on C-Double, I would gladly give my back to you the head with the ball bat. It is all good in the hood. CM, thank you so much. I had to get your take.
I'll be like the 1, 2, 3 kid. I'll take the money and run, and before I attack my own people. But yeah, I appreciate that you put me out there. But you know what? I'm only one person. I'm doing everything that I can to help out everyone that needs that help. When I go out there, yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of credit, but I'm not going to stroke my ego like some who like wearing dresses and street corners on stop signs and bus stops. That's just not me. Not only that, I'm not some milking bastard, whatever cheese grater from Wisconsin. But I know that's your homeboy over the other show. But you know what? We run a totally different operation over here, where we're a little bit more laid back, a little more relaxed. As you can see, our charisma and our energy come to life here. You don't hear no. Even all I gotta say is when I watch that show, you don't see anymore. If it wasn't for me pulling at least one person out of there, we wouldn't have had the crew we have today. Because we have guys like Paul on our show, Paul Jason. We have Brick Wall, and then you got the guys from Podcast Wrestling Fed. These guys, they have their own little thing going.
Carl's one of them.
See, there you go. See, we got Carl. We have Brick Wall. We have Adam if he wants to come on our show. I know we haven't asked a whole lot of people yet. Right now we only do 2 shows. We don't need to do a show every day. But when C-Double has his show, he does his thing, and then I do mine. But we combine everything together. We have each other tagged on YouTube, so that way everyone knows who to go to. And then if there was a way to say who to avoid watching, Wrestling Impact would be number 1 on that list. And number 2, it would still be Wrestling Impact, because I cannot get into that show. I watched his last show, his reboot, and I could smell the sarcastic attitude of him trying to be like, "Hey, welcome back." No, don't bullshit the crowd, because in a couple of days you're going to do another show, and there's going to be none of that, and it's going to be completely boring, and it's going to be watered down, and he's going to repeat that phase. And I hate I hate shitting on people like that, but when you come off bad on someone, you're going to leave that mark there forever. It's going to take a long time to prove us wrong, and until then, you're always going to be that number 10 show out of that, out of a top 5 slot.
Amen.
That's just me.
Haley, Haley, we're not trying to say you need to jump ship, but the water is getting pretty deep on that boat. So we have life rafts, we have helicopters. Dear Lord, I am Mr. Prince Devitt of the group. I bring people together. So, I want you to know you always have a place in Open Wrestling Talk. I mean, you are our, admin that we so appreciate. We love your questions, love the pictures you post. You don't ever have to be ashamed. You don't ever have to defend yourself. You have people that will stand with you. But like I said, and CM's right. CM has the show set up the way he does with Destroying Kayfabe. My reason I did Open Wrestling Talk was I wanted to get the word out there, and I wanted to get CM out there because he is a brilliant mind in wrestling, and a brilliant take, and the passion is there. So I wanted to be the guy that will broadcast after a pay-per-view, after Raw, SmackDown, and obviously Indie Shine Night. And you know what? If we're done doing NXT review, we'll do an NXT review. If that's what the people want, people get what they want. So I just want to thank you so much. I know you're with Wrestling Impact. I understand that. Just know we respect you and we appreciate your take. Your brother's a very smart man, and we really want to thank him also for kind of helping you out, learning. I mean, because if it wasn't for a family member, I wouldn't have gotten into wrestling. My father and my brother got me into it, and I've never left too. So I know how important that is. So Haley, go ahead and give us your final take.
It was great being on the show. You guys are so great. I hope I don't get in trouble now. But
Ah,
I mean,
Always
We
have
got
a
your back.
I'm doing the show with him, so I feel like he should respect that, and I feel like I'm not leaving him. So I feel like he should respect that I did this one show with you guys because, as you guys know, my favorite wrestler and my pride and joy just had the biggest heel turn last night. So I know you guys wanted to hear my puts on that. So that's why I decided to do it with you, and I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I'm glad you guys appreciated my takes and everything and liked them. I hope so. Anyways,
your takes always matter.
but
always.
but yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed being here and everything, and yeah, you guys are a great show.
Give that girl a lollipop.
You guys need to shut up about the lollipop. Seriously.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the greatest talents she has. She's blushing, but it is true. But with that being said, open wrestling talk, destroying kayfabe, PWF is war. Guys, check these guys out. Wrestling News, World News, check them out. There's so many outlets we have, and yes, we will believe in the merge. We are the Bullet Club of wrestling news talk. We don't stop for nobody. We run over you if you ain't with us. It is what it is.
Exactly.
I want to thank my boy, the loose cannon Charles Twitter Schmitty. I want to thank you, buddy, for doing your great work. Even if it is
Sure.
controversial, it is what it is. We're just trying to end up getting Stassi on the show. And Das, I tried to tell you, man. I offered an open forum to bury the hatchet. You won't take it, so I can't call the Wild Dogs back in. They won't listen. It is what it is. I want to thank Carl, dude, Brook, New York, live and awesome, man. I love your take. Love the passion, man. You just keep doing what you're doing, my
Adapt or
friend.
prepared.
We definitely gotta do more.
Adapted.
You know it, man.
Seth Rollins adapted.
Yeah, damn straight. And you know what? We all would have
You
too
did.
if Triple H came up to us and said, "You the star." So, and CM Styles, you know what? You the Triple H of the era with us here, man. You're the one that told me to follow, and I followed you, brother, and I'm glad I did, man. So I want to thank you very much, Destroying Kayfabe tonight. We're going to have probably some emotional people going about how they're going to burn down WWE headquarters, but we are here together. Look at that. He's got his hammer too. Yes, believe in the Styles brand. All right, and of course, this show really wouldn't have gone off without a hitch. But Haley, thank you so much. Wrestling Impact Zone. You can catch her a little later on today. She's going to be on. Please show her love, but hate on Wrestling Impact because quite honestly, you're going to be bored to tears if you listen to Doss. And God forbid if he cuts her off.
Anyway.
If he cuts her off, y'all watch us because she will get her full take here. Amen to that. We got Mr. Carl doing his favorite Randy Orton impression with the belts. But definitely, I want to say, Haley, thank you so much for being a part of
Yes, much
the show. I really appreciate your takes. I know it's hard, especially with all people trying to pull you in so many different ways, but I gave you my word. I was going to let you, give you your take. I wanted you to speak your mind, and I didn't want you thinking you didn't deserve to be here. You deserve to be here. You are that good. For me to say, you know what you're talking about means a lot. And me and CM know when we have talent, we respect talent. So thank you so much for being a part of the show. I really appreciate you. And guys, it's open wrestling talk. It's open season, baby. We have now entered into reality era, and we're in the reality era of Wrestle Talk News. So, if you all getting all butthurt about what we say, go kick rocks, because we the Bullet Club of the South, y'all. And if you got a problem with it, I only got one thing to say: deal with it. I'm C Double. My crew is better than yours. I'm out. Deuces.